Hi everyone, this is another ramble by Easy. This is Elizabeth. Originally I planned to make some notes on today's session because it's supposed to be a reflection review of a conference I attended. Today it's a cybersecurity summit in New York. And I've done a cybersecurity startup because of my experience, so I'm still adjusting the pillow in order just because I had this notes and I decided not to write anything on it. I don't think I need to. I think I could just improvise because it's looking like the very important papers from one of the math textbooks on higher modular theory. It's in algebra, of course, modules. Chapter 6 modules. I think it's one of the friends who gave me, who is the nephew of Yitang Zhang. Just search him on the internet. I've known quite a lot of people that are prominent, and he is one friend who I sort of paused my relationship with, because I think I need to get away from those people who are not suitable to be my friends, because they are having a different life, a different belief, and they're there in their circle doing their thing, and I have my priorities. So I gave up on my math, and honestly this is called good math. Everybody can see it. It's the entire chapter 6 was given to me as a gift when I was visiting her, not him anymore. I would say she was expelled from China because of her gender, and you guys know what I mean. But in one of the videos, I honestly told I dated a transgender. I was living with her for a couple months, and then the relationship didn't work out. But this one was actually a friend, and she gave me this very nice pieces of paper talking about modules, and they're really nice. Translation. I think she's translating the document from Chinese to English. One of my favorite things is to learn category theory in algebra. So there's very nice lemma. Let C be an additive category and M a non-zero object in C. And if and or M is a local ring, then M is indecomposable. And this is basically like define decomposable and indecomposable, and you like prove this through definitions. This is one of the algebraical proof methods. And if somebody learned linear algebra, this is a very nice thing. Crew remake Schmidt theorem and Hilbert problem. There are many nice things in these papers. So I eventually, I don't have paper around me right now, and I'm really tired and lazy to find those notebooks. I just really want to kind of tell a little about myself, what I know, what I'm doing. I used to want to be this mathematician, but sadly I got stuck in my third year of university. I can't really tell on YouTube what kind of university, but I went to a pretty good university. I regret that I didn't apply for higher Ivy Leagues like Stanford and Harvard at that time. I should have applied. I didn't even do it just because I liked UC Berkeley so much that I wrote about UC Berkeley in every single of my essays. And of course, other people saw it. Oh, you like UC Berkeley? Then don't even come to us. So I was I'm such a fan of UC Berkeley in every single of my essay. I was trying to tell all the others how much I liked UC Berkeley, and eventually UC Berkeley didn't admit me, and that was really the point. I felt like I need to leave America. I felt too disappointed. It's such a delusional place. Democracy did not even exist. It was back in 2017. I got admissions result, and I feel like I should have left, but then I met my first stalker, Adam Stafford. Please see the very first video when I was talking about Trump, when I was wearing that red Harvard shirt talking about Trump. He basically destroyed my this safety space, and I don't feel safe. Actually, I think I kind of understood him because he is, let's say, like, I'm his first woman. We didn't even do anything, just like dating, like the literal technical definition of dating, and he's never dated any girl. And so like but he is still very awful. He's terrible. He shouldn't have done that. Stalking me to my dorm door, followed somebody to access the building and knocked on my door in the most aggressive way. So that destroyed my safe space, and nobody really helped me punish him. There was no like consequential um demonstration. There was no, like, like you have to show somebody the consequence. So I tend to say it's my term, okay, it's my terminology, consequential demonstration. We don't call it punishment, we just show the consequence. We need to let people know that this is a consequence of you doing some harm to somebody. It's a psychological harm. You shouldn't do that to any other human being. And then, like, after him, I met the Russian Ukrainian hacker, and that changed me from this fancy stuff to the cybersecurity. And just look, like, I have 4 phones, even more. I can't tell exactly what the brands. I have these management, like this device management, just because there are different layers of privacy, right? I've been doing this for I think since 2019. I was sort of doing it, and then when the pandemic hit, I just started using 2 phones at the same time, and then I found 2 phones are not enough. He still knew, the Russian Ukrainian hacker, the first one who hacked me, he still knew like all my devices through the 2 phones, like, because they're somehow interconnected. As long as I have some information linking to each other, like one of my social medias is a friend with my another social media, or I send email from this account to the other account, even if there are 2 phones, the intra network, they're together, and he could analyze it. It takes some time. I'm pretty sure it doesn't only take a few weeks. It takes maybe 1 or 2 months. But like, I can't change my phones doubly per 2 months. I change 2 phones per 2 months, 2 phones per 2 months. That's way too costly. So I decided to found a cybersecurity startup by myself. And so I did. It went not so well. Well, it was going well just by me being myself. I think everybody sort of know me from YouTube. And by me being myself, I was doing well. I had my own YouTube channel since 2021, and that was going really well, though. I had 2K fans in a few months. There was, I think in 3 months or so, I had 2 fans. I was commenting on Elizabeth Holmes. I'm also Elizabeth, but I'm Elizabeth with S, and I'm not last name Holmes. I did have a CEO. I recruited him because I don't want to do this job by myself. It's so exhausting. I have many other things to do. I was very busy. I recruited him, and he did not do my job like in a way that I desired. I'm more like a democratic leader. I wish people to tell me when you are tired, when you have something going on. You should feedback me, and you always, like, stay connected with, tell me what's most effective for you as well. Otherwise, I don't know. I can't manage you without you giving me this feedback, this data. So he was really good developer, but I felt I needed like entirely Western team. I need maybe like, according to the status quo, I need a tall, handsome white guy to be the CEO. That was the status quo, right? Because if I could be the CEO, I would. But I'm so busy with other things. I have my art project, music project. I'm mathematical. Of course, I need to be busy about my study, my career. And this person really, like, this person should be bossed around. Like, we should sign a contract or something. And I had this idea a long time ago. I think it's kind of common, me being a board member. It's common because, like, I could afford. A lot of startup founders, they can't afford. I can't afford. And that's why I'm just like, okay, I'll care about my own things. I went away from that idea of persisting on startups. I just have to finish it until I see the light. So I deregistered my startup in some Asian country, not China. I had to base my startup in somewhere else. But that really didn't work out, and I have been back in the States for almost 2 years. Officially, I was back in December 2022. But I was traveling around trying to select a state to live, and California didn't work out. So I moved to Massachusetts. Um, and then for a year, I found that was not very friendly for startups, for the kind of setup that I wanted. And I need more expansion, more connection, a better environment. So I moved to New York in 2024 and officially went back to school. And right now I've been in school and in New York for both in school and New York for a little over 1 year. I don't think, like without me, the West could go to this step, because I'm constantly advocating. My previous YouTube, the one with 2K fan, was destroyed by somebody, some kind of hacker, either Leon. Sean Leon Bohoilish, I've been calling this name all the time just because I know he is there. I know he listens. He's watching me, and he knows I'm selling. He knows I'm selling him. He knows I'm joking at him, and that's fine because he's not doing anything at all. He's fine. The other one is also fine. Like, I've been through it. It's been fucking 6 years about the hacking and cyber stalking. So I've had my device management. I've learned cybersecurity. I had my company. I read a textbook of cryptography over a flight from San Francisco to London the first year when I was stalked back in 2019. That was the first year. So, right? It's been 6 years. 2019, I read a textbook just because I was a math major. I learned about Fermat's theorem and Fibonacci number at a very young age. I know Königsberg. Has anybody know Königsberg? Königsberg 7-bridge problem, 7-bridge. That was something I learned and I proved the impossibility when I was age 7. And I can't make age. Okay, so here's the thing. If somebody can just tell me what is this, then you're at the admission of my knowledge level. You have to learn abstract algebra, and then that's what I'm talking about with Leon, the German hacker. He's kind of kind-hearted, right? But he didn't really help me, and I understand he thinks independence is important to me. Thank you, Leon, but I still don't like you. Anyway, I gave up my dream for the cybersecurity project, and I found most people don't have the same experience as I do, of course. And the second thing is they do not really value talents as much as I do, because they do not really come from a business background, not to mention a very high educational background such as theoretical mathematics. I feel like I was just coming from the top of the pyramid. One thing is that I am rich. Another is I know I'm pretty, I'm intelligent, I got a good education. It does not make you jealous of me. And you see, like, I experienced all this shit things. It's because I actually have an unfortunate family. Well, I have a fortunate family, material-wise. I don't think I had a very happy childhood, teenagehood. There was lots of, like, abuse problem in Asia. I think people have researched about that, heard about that. And I hope you really, like, understand and support those people who, like, are on different stages of going through that anti-abuse thing, because I don't even think many Western people know how to anti-abuse, but coming from that anti-abuse founders background, I really just want to tell I just want to urge people to support minority founders, and to, like, don't be mean to founders with a minority background. Anyway, there's a lot already spoken ahead, but what I truly want to talk about is this, like, vibe, the general vibe since I came back to the States. This is the very first conference I attended in cybersecurity, but I attended other cybersecurity conferences in Asia. Some prominent ones earned me friends and partners who have now been working in the US, immigrated to the US and working in the US in Maryland and in different states that support cybersecurity companies, not really startup. They're not startup scales. Like I said previously, I know lots of prominent people, and one of the persons I know in China is the son of a famous astronaut in Canada, and he was like abandoned by his family because his Chinese wife took his kid and divorced with him because his Chinese wife just didn't like him anymore. She felt bored or something. I don't know if it's true or not, but he was my friend, like a really good friend. Like I treated him like a father, like a pretend father, and I really felt like, in all honesty, I felt like I would be happier if I was raised by a white pair of white parents, just because they know me better. They would know how to raise a kid like that better. And being born and raised in a Chinese environment, or in general Asian environment, there was a lot of oppression for sure. But it does not mean that you can just deny their abilities. It's really rude. It's not only rude, honestly, like I can be really honest with you. I can be really direct and honest. You really should be cursed. Your whole family, your posterity, you're doing that. You're doing that to people who are already in the minority, in that kind of struggling layer. You don't deserve. You don't deserve to use resources on Earth. I'm telling you. I experienced a lot. I fought the crimes by myself. I talked to FBI for fucking so many times. And this cybersecurity summit, of course, they will have to put this FBI agent at the very end of the speakers of the panel. All of the speakers were were somehow from the corporate, but not exactly the very elite corporate. I researched some so-called famous company, and I just found, they were acquired by MasterCard. But if you look into MasterCard, they have maybe 7 billion in debt. So the company that acquired that very famous, quote unquote famous cybersecurity company has been already in debt for 7 billion. 17 or 7 billion. It's a billion number. And can you even trust to acquire that small cybersecurity company? They spent 3 billions minimum, 3.5 billions. They spent 3.5 billions to acquire that small cybersecurity company. And they told me that they are the very best in the industry, like they existed for 15 years or so or something. I was just like, oh, like I said, in my LinkedIn, you could see that what's my background, what's my family background. And not only do I know the nephew of Yitang Zhang, I mean, Alibaba, these Chinese elite circles that just admit that, of course we know. And some other countries like Canada, Japan, Singapore, I have business partners, and we know some good CEOs. And Leon Bohonlish, like I introduced him in another video, he's already befriended with Elon Musk. I mean, what can I do? If he likes me, he likes me. Whatever I say, he'll listen to it somehow. And beware that who you're talking to. And when you disrespect me, I feel it. When you disrespect me in conference, I know it. And when I know it, you should also feel it. You can hate me, you cannot hate the hierarchy. The hierarchy is always there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to tell you. It's just the reality that the structure prefers people with strong skills and stronger willpower. And if you don't have that courage, you don't have that willpower, you don't have that intelligence, like, please fucking tell me, have you passed the linear algebra? Then don't even talk about Chinese malicious actors. It is actually your Russian, Ukrainian military people who are hacking your infrastructure within the United States. And the United States have simply so many corrupted government officials. You guys should really thank Elon Musk. You guys should thank Doge. You guys should thank Trump, I think. Although I hate this person, I've talked about him a million times. I don't have any person like that in my personal circle. But honestly, job-wise, it's from my background, my education, my intelligence. Okay, you can deny me your choice. I can, okay, go your way. I think let foolish people be foolish. Let the rotten be rot. I'd love that. Be it. I love it. And if you put FBI agent, some kind of head security of FBI branch, and he's telling you all the malicious actors are from China, from North Korea, and they don't even take in the reports while they're advertising ic3.gov. And what kind of government agency is that? You're not doing the job, yet you encourage report. I know it's advertising, but don't you think that will actually add extra to your workload? The more you don't want to work, actually, the more you will have to work. So if so, then stop advertising. You don't want to work on those anyway. So this is one thing. Another thing is, even though I said so, I still don't like people interrupt me talking with another person. I usually stand aside when I see some people talking with each other. I stand aside, wait until they finish. But I hate when somebody suddenly invade my space. And this person from Taiwan, he's just he's speaking Chinese. Hey, I'm from Taiwan. Don't tell me you're from Taiwan. So I just swept off him, and I said that doesn't matter. That's fine. And I continued my conversation with this FBI agent. It's just because, what the fuck? Why do I care about where you're from? What do you have? What do you do? What do you have? I don't fucking care. It's business conference. Don't tell me where you're from. Why does that even matter? I think if US is a place for talents, then you guys should kind of set up standards for, one thing is for government. Another, I am very exhausted about, sure, I should attend some better event which has the admissions requirements and they screen out people. And I do think people from Taiwan, of course, you deserve to attend conferences. I just think that they say so also because you don't really tolerate these people, and it's strongly encouraged to be political in the cybersecurity summit in this conference. But did you notice that as a victim of cyber stalking for such a long time, I've also reported to ic3.gov. I've been reached out by officials, and I didn't get a result. And you guys should really know. You guys should notice that it's not a political war. The cybersecurity is a technological thing. It's not political. And I hate when you relate cybersecurity this fucking computer, and it's not politics. It's software and hardware. It's not politics. It should be politics agnostic. You should not define, oh, that's Chinese chip, this is Russian made, this is from North Korea. It's weird. You should see them as a set of theory, a set of language. This is how you learn math. Do you know it? This is how you learn math. You should not be stereotyping these technologies. Otherwise, you won't be able to learn. And this is very frustrating. This is not the elite phenomenon that I wish to see in the US. If you truly want to learn, be agnostic about politics. Don't say it because it's China made, so I don't want you study it or something. And for example, DeepSeek, just an example, my dad says, oh, it's really useful, download it. I said, no, I don't want to download it on my phone. So was I being discriminatory to DeepSeek? No, I did not download OpenAI either. I did not download Grok. I didn't download any AI app just because I think that sort of app will collect my data in a sort of, in a way that I don't like. I don't want to input my data and my phone's data, etc. It's weird. I don't want to download that sort of. I don't have TikTok on my phone. No, I have the Facebook set the meta softwares, it does not mean that I, like I sort of allow them to collect my data just because I know Mark Zuckerberg, please can somebody tell me how to pronounce his name? Mark Zuckerberg, whatever, Mark. He is familiar enough for me to trust his shit anyway. Like, I know what sort of data he would be interested. It's always advertising. It's always money related. He doesn't care about people's personal shit. If he recommends me some fashion related, like modeling and clothes, and I'll be fine because that's something I'm interested, and that's totally fine. What I feel not fine is you actually hacking to my memos, diaries, coding, and stuff like I wish to publish in the future, and those like important creative works, right? You get what I mean? So we have to protect our creative process, our procedure. And that's something I feel like it's really invasive, and I hope both hackers stop doing that. But anyway, those are like my past weird associations, and I've been to this step now, and I've attended the first conference. What I really want to comment is not only about this diversity, equity, and not doing their job well enough thing, but also the overall cybersecurity landscape. Landscape is emerging, is expanding, but mostly they're trying to collectively doing something. They're trying to manage all the vulnerabilities. They're trying to assess all the risk. They're trying to give you a threat model. They're trying to collect all the data. They call it a threat intelligence. Like, I was just like, dude, it's just different names. Like, if you can't do a job well, you can't do a job well. Like, if you don't have the best data analytics, what's the use of this data anyway? And another second point, if you don't if you don't trust this data enough, you don't have the best data ever, then what's the point of doing it anyway? So it's a lot of problems to consider when you invent these English words. Like, please learn some linear algebra, consider cryptography, and learn from abstract algebra. So if we go back to the start of this video, what I'm trying to convey to the cybersecurity officers is that you learn some fucking math. Seriously, learn some fucking. You will find all the English words in those people's presentation is just bullshit. It's just bullshit. Can you read? Who's the fucking email? Can you read a blockchain paper? No, tell me, can you read a blockchain paper? You can't. You say Web3 is all scams. Yes, cryptos are scams. Web3 is not scam. Okay, SEC is stupid. And you think Web3 is scam because you did not read the blockchain paper. If you read it, let me know, and then find me again. And this cybersecurity conference, honest, I think I was just using my time maybe to the 55-60% efficiency. And the rest of the time I was dealing with, oh my God, that's so useless, that's stupid. For a victim who has had probably 30-40 devices in total in the last 3 to 5 years, I don't know, I definitely 30 plus devices in total. There's so many, and I sold some. I still have a lot. I have like detailed logs evidence, but it's like a huge project. I really wish like people look at their products and look at the actual victimhood of cyber attacks, victimhood of like any so it's not really like cyber. Sometimes it's offline, right? It's social engineering. It's somebody hacking into a computer using USBs. So it's complicated, but you also like need to use logic. Essentially, it's logic. It is about technology, but it's about logic. It's definitely not about politics only. If you look at each individual as where you're from, what political belief you have, then it's very difficult to do technology. And last time I did my startup in Singapore, that was a mistake just because I don't have good enough legal protection for myself. This time I'm in the US. if I'm in the US and I face all these people who are violating 14th Amendment, Fourth Amendment, and the First Amendment, I'm just like, oh, oh, guys, you really should go back home and talk to your family a bit more about like how you guys used to grow up and what is the kind of current situation now, because if you really want to go back to that kind of good old days and you want to have a normal like like a normal working employment rate, let's say like employment rate, then you should like basically divide problems um, in a way that can actually help you solve problems. That's all that takes today, and there's really a lot. It's really a lot. I hope I wrap up sort of well. um, the cybersecurity conference was usually, like it's not a math conference, it's not a math seminar, so I cannot expect much. But I really did meet some wonderful people. I do still encourage people to attend, but I like I said, I met some wonderful people from the conference, and to like further complete this video, I think I should put a disclaimer at the end. I am not responsible for all of the information in this video, but I do have evidence to show what I said with logical proof according to at least a second opinion, because I've been working with somebody. I had my lawyer at 21 who also experienced the cyberstalking. She is a cyberstalking lawyer. So like I've been working with people on my OSINT. I do need people to help me with my project though. So if you're interested, leave me a message if you think my story is interesting, encouraging, useful for your products. Leave me a message. I do encourage people to still attend. It's just like we people have different needs. Like I'm like totally at a different level and stage. Lots of like philosophical, intellectual things matters. Just because I read like philosophy and like all this math shit in very early young stage. I'm privileged. I do acknowledge I'm privileged, but I also think this is the worst thing that ever happened to me. That made me like that changed my life path. I was a mathematician. I was supposed to be a mathematician doing mathematics, and I should be in my PhD program right now. I'm still doing this like stupid whatever. I'm finishing up. I'm trying to I know that I will be going to law school either this year or next year. I don't like to disclose too much of what I'll be doing and where exactly I am right now, but it's not really too bad. I feel like I could probably still be in very good shape. It's just because I'm smart, and I feel like like no hackers really gonna like, are they really gonna do it? If they're really gonna do it, I'm counting on you guys. Okay, thank you very much.